Hey guys, this is Locke. Today I'm going to be going through my arena composition and why I'm using the units that I'm using. So this is the auto arena that I'm going to be talking about today. Usually I talk about, like live match battle, but today I'm going to be talking about the auto arena. So over the past few weeks, I've been doing this series where I attack, whichever the top ranked opponent is, which is a non-evade team, and attack that and see how well this team that I put together does. So instead, today, well, I'm going to be doing that a bit later, but I actually want to talk about my team and why I put the team together. So every week, what I do is I take a look at the unit and vision card bonus. Now they've added a vision card in here as well. Before it just used to be units. And then I try to find some ideas which would let me take the most advantage of these bonus points that I can get. So, I mean, I have both of these units, but I don't have either of the vision cards. I have a few of the vision cards here. I have Ramu, I have Two-Headed Dragon, Golem. Actually, I have all of them except for the MR card. And I have everything on the 50% bonus units as well. So, because of the limiting factor here for me is really, uh, one of these two units. Like, I would like to make a composition with one of these four units to get the most points possible. If possible, I would like to use one unit and one vision card, but I don't have either of the vision cards, so I'm just going to be sticking to one unit itself and try to find at least one vision card that I can use from this pool. So with that, I decided to use Winter Victora, and I also decided to use the Federica's Dream card because Winter Victora is a missile type user. So that's how I started with this team. So when I first made this team, I put I put Winter Victoria in the slot. Um, well, not particularly in the middle slot, but into one of these slots. And I thought of, okay, if I'm building a missile team, who do I definitely want to have on this team? And the first spot always goes to Nivlu. And I prefer Nivlu or Victoria because of her LB. So her LB does Spider Rain, which decreases the target's defense by 35. So this does a lot more damage than Barrage, simply because of that added defense lowering effect. So if the modifier for this skill and Frederica's Barrage is the same, this skill will do 35% more damage, just straight out, because of the the defense lowering effect. So if I'm going to build a missile team, I would very definitely want to have Nivlu in it. So with that in mind, I've I've been playing around with missile teams long enough to know that their damage is not as good as some of the other teams. Like for example, their attack is typically lower. I'm using Ilfrit to give 50% boost to the team, and Niblu has all the attacking gear, including Odin, that I can put on her, and her attack is just 800. Whereas Dwayne, for example, has almost 1,000 attack, and he doesn't even have his card on him. If I put his card on him, that's gonna go through the roof. That is gonna go to like over 1,021 attack. So as you can see, missile teams have lower attack. I think that's just built into how they're made. Uh, because they have a very long range, so they for balance issues they probably don't want to give them a high attack. So with that in mind, I've decided that whenever I play missile teams, to get the most impact out of them, I would like to use somebody on the team that has the aimed fire buff. So typically it would be like Federica, or I can even use like Cerise now. But because I would really like to use Winter Victoria to get the bonus points, um, one option I could do is have the third unit be the buffer of aimed fire for both of these units, and I could have Nivlu and Winter Victoria. That would be my 3% team. But I decided that as I'm trying to build a team that can take on like every type of attacker. I don't, if I see a tankard with a really high missile resist, I don't want to go, okay, well, I'm going to lose, so I'm going to skip this unit. Like I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to build an all-around composition. So because of that, I decided that I don't want my third unit to be a missile attacker. I want it to be something different, so that if I do face somebody with like very high missile resistance, most likely they will not be having high missile and slash resistance. So my team could probably deal with that. So that's why I picked, somebody with an alternate damage type. And since I'm going with somebody with an alternate damage type, I wanted that person to be a tank, drawing my fire away from my two rangers. And the reason for that is because my rangers have low health. I don't want them to get hit. I'm sure there are a lot of units that can one-shot them, and to survive, the best way to survive really is to just focus fire away from them. So that's how I came up with, the three types of units that I want to use. Like I knew for sure I wanted to use Venture Victoria for the bonus units. I knew for sure I wanted to use Nivlu because I like to have Nivlu as my main missile unit whenever I'm building missile teams. And then that leaves a spot for the tank. So Dwayne is not the best tank. There are, in my opinion, better tanks. Like for example, the Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light has more uh, like I think he has more innate defense, but at the very least he has more. Here, let me just pull him up as well, just to show you the differences between Warrior of Light and Dwayne. So let me pull both of these guys up. Actually, let me do this so it'll be easier to see the innate differences. Okay, there's Warrior of Light, and here is Dwayne. So Warrior of Light has 27 defense, whereas Dwayne has 25. Okay, so they have similar defenses once you adjusted their passives. But I think Warrior of Light would have better resistances. Let me just double check that. So 25 slash resistance, 15 missile, whereas Dwayne has 10. Okay, so this was the difference. When I looked at them, I knew that Dwayne was a worse off tank, and I was trying to remember why. It's because of his resistances. It's way worse than the Warrior of Light. So if I wanted to get a really good tank, Warrior of Light would be what I typically pick. But the reason that I picked Dwayne is actually because I'm giving him move 4. So the reason I want to do that is because I want to create as much space as I can between Dwayne and my rangers. So like if he moves up 4 spaces and Nivlu moves up 3 spaces, that's they already start 2 spaces apart. So that would have a space of there should be at least 3 spaces between the two of them after the end of the first turn. With If I use, for example, a Warrior of Light, there will only be 2 spaces difference, and the two of them could get caught in AOE. Especially on the second turn, Nivlu could basically be right next to Warrior of Light at the beginning of the turn because she's faster. Whereas with Dwayne, I'm hoping that because of the extra movement, it'll create more spaces so that the both of them don't get caught in an AOE. There are quite a few AOE 1 skills out there, but there are not as many AOE 2 skills. So I'm hoping that that distance is able to make him a more effective tanker for the needs that I want, which is to basically get fire away from my rangers, which don't have much defenses or health. So that's how I decided on the team. And then on the Esper and card choices, one other thing I could have done is just put Dwayne's card on him, because that gives an attack of 35% and some magic resist as well, which is which might have been one option instead of going for the Ilford card, which gives you a 50% attack. So by doing that, I would have just lost 15% attack, but I would have another slot to do something else. Like I would have maybe put the Raging Earth Titan card to increase the overall firepower of my team. But I decided, again, as a catch-all kind of team, I thought I would meet a lot of rangers on the battlefield. I thought I would meet a lot of missile units, and the reason I thought that is because the vision card choice is Frederica's Dream, and Frederica is a free unit. Well, not a free unit, but her shards can be obtained for free with like the friend medals and with the friend medals, I believe. I don't know, one of the medals. You can obtain Frederica shards for free with one of the medals. So I'm assuming a lot of people have her, and a lot of people have, Christ for free that people have built. So I'm expecting to meet a lot of gunners, and Winter Victoria being the bonus unit for the stage. I assumed because I would be meeting a lot of gunners having missile resist across my team, would be, would be good. I thought that would be the overall best defense that I could think of. Now, as you can see, I have a 10 match winning streak here. I have not used any refills yet. I did my 5 matches yesterday, I did my 5 matches today. Now I'm going to do 1 refill and do 5 more matches, and my match is going to be whoever my top most opponent is. I don't know if I'm going to win the battle or not, but that's my goal. The only reason I will not be attacking this whatever top opponent that I see is if they are an evade team, because I know my team cannot handle evade. They're not built for evade at all. So that's those are the thoughts that went into creating this team. I hope that helped. Now I'm going to stop talking, but I'm going to do my 5 matches, and you can watch these if you would like to see how my composition did. But I'm going to say, thanks for watching now. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the show and maybe found it informative. Until next time, this has been Locke.